Hello, Scorpio Risings. Welcome to your monthly zodiac reading for the month of May 2025. As always, we are going to pull an overall energy theme for the month. We will pull tarot for each week. We will clarify that with more tarot, as well as correlate those messages to the astrological transits and wrap it up with some additional oracle guidance. So let's see what Scorpio Risings need to know for the month of May. Sun, source. This feels like connecting to source, to the universe, to the divine. Maybe spending a lot of time out in the sun to kind of help cleanse that energy. Here was card number 18. One is about the self. It is about choice, or it's about creation, not choices, but it's about the self and it's about creation. And then here we have the number 8. 8 is about personal attainment. It's about abundance, growth, a constant reminder of the infinite possibility that what we give is what we get back, and what we get back can also be what we give. So it may be, it's kind of hard to explain this feeling that I'm getting. But if you're looking for a deeper connection, which Scorpios, I know we all love, if you're looking for that deeper connection, it looks as if it's going to be found. This sense of growth, I think that maybe this is representing that this is going to be found outside in nature, in the sun, and really just spending time connecting to yourself. Which I feel like some signs would be like, oh God, that's such a bummer. But Scorpio risings anyway, I know that we're like, okay, we do not mind that. We can handle spending time by ourselves. We can handle the self-reflection. We can handle all those things because that is just something that Scorpios tend to thrive in. Interesting. So the Queen of Pentacles came out first, unintentionally. When cards like that come out, I always tend to pay attention to them. So here in the first week, the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles represents an energy where she is very thoroughly planned, like she's very structured, she's very disciplined, she's very planned. Not just because it benefits her, but she finds and she recognizes that those who look to her, either for comfort, support, whether that's children, a spouse, everyone finds security and comfort in the fact that she is the one who kind of keeps things structured and organized, right? She's the planner. She's looking ahead, okay? She's very strong and grounded in that energy. This is the week that we've got Pluto going retrograde. Pluto has been transiting our 4th house. This is the house of our physical home and also the house of our internal home, our internal emotional space. So anytime we have a retrograde, including Pluto, anytime that energy goes retrograde, it's no longer being expressed outward, it's being expressed inward. And Pluto is a generational planet, so the changes that it makes are very subtle. It's so subtle that most of the time, a lot of us don't even recognize that it's happening, but it is happening. Right? And we never really see the effects that Pluto energy has until hindsight, which is why you guys Pluto being one of your co-rulers is great, because Scorpio is prone to that depth. It's prone to that self-reflection. And as a result, we can kind of see things like, oh, I see how that played out. I see the law of cause and effect occurring here. So here, Pluto going retrograde, any changes that have been happening around your home, your physical home, again, or internally, how you feel at home with yourself, are going to be kind of reevaluated. This transit's going to last for about 5 months. On the 10th, we also have Mercury moving into the sign of Taurus. So this is the planet of thoughts, ideas, and communication, moving into the very earthy sign of Taurus, which sits in your 7th house. So this is about business contracts. This is also about interpersonal relationships and long-term romantic partnerships. So it could be that within the home, people within your home are looking to you to kind of be that structure, right? Be that grounded, structured leader that they kind of find security and comfort in, right? And you're not doing that just for the sake of other people. It also provides you a sense of security and comfort as well. Here in the second week, we've got the full moon happening within the sign of Scorpio. So this is going to hit our first house, the Four of Wands. Yay! We love to see that. The Four of Wands represents celebration, joy, stability, security, and comfort, maybe even going someplace, going somewhere that you feel that you're really excited to go. This could be a wedding or some sort of celebration. Really excited here about this growth that's occurring, the stability and the structure that you're finding. Here, and again, full moons, I didn't touch on this, but full moons are a buildup of energy. They tend to trigger our emotional state. And they ultimately reveal things that are not working so that we can make adjustments, right? We can release things that may be prohibiting this energy from moving forward. With it being in the first house, it may feel like, this feels like confidence, like feeling very confident in who you are, really, and expressing that confidence to the world, because the first house represents how we feel about ourselves, and it also represents our first impression. It's how the world perceives us when they first meet us. So it could feel like you're feeling very good here in this second week, the week of the full moon. Here in the third week, this is when Gemini season starts, the Page of Pentacles. So you could be receiving an opportunity, or not an opportunity, but a message of a new opportunity to build something tangible, a message of learning something new here in this third week. Gemini rules your 8th house. So for the 8th house, this represents debt and inheritances. This represents the occult. It represents taboo. It is literally your home house. Okay. So with it being here, Gemini is very adaptable, which Scorpios can struggle with because it's fixed energy. So when it comes to transformative changes, while Scorpios love that deep dive, we're not prone to shifting. We're not prone to change on a dime, right? And it can invoke things like anxiety and fear when we have to. But here with the Page of Pentacles, with Gemini season starting, the 8th house is about to become a big theme over the next few weeks. This could be learning. It feels like learning how to focus on the things that you can control, right? If a lot of things are shifting and moving, this feels like learning how to focus on those things, learning how to focus on the things that you ultimately can control. And again, it also could be maybe you're coming into a little bit of money. This is a collective reading, and the pages represent a message of financial opportunity. Okay. Here, and this can be like good karma, right? If you've been putting in the work to be of service, if you've been putting in the work to do things, to shift and break generational curses, this could feel like an opportunity of just good karma. Here in the 4th week, we've got the 5 of Cups in reverse. This is Scorpio energy. But ultimately, the 5 of Cups in reverse represents healing, moving past and healing disappointments and regrets, right? Past disappointments and regrets. Again, this is going to activate your 8th house. But on the 25th, we have Saturn moving into the sign of Aries. Saturn is the planet of karma. It is the planet of time, restriction, boundaries, limitation. It is the planet that represents our humanity. And it's going to be in Aries for several years. So Aries sits in your 6th house. This is going to, I think, provide us Scorpio risings with the necessary discipline and structure to help us achieve that structure and routine that we're potentially looking for within our day-to-day life, right? The 6th house governs health and work habits. So if you're looking to be more structured within this time, Saturn moving into Aries is going to definitely provide you the necessary energy to do that. On the hindsight, it's going to take time, but it can also kind of reveal where we feel restricted on a daily basis. Aries energy on a daily basis wants to just go, 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 go. And Saturn is going to put up roadblocks and barriers, right? So just be mindful that that energy can manifest itself 2 different ways. On the 26th, Mercury is moving into Gemini. So the planet of thoughts, ideas, and communication is moving into the 8th house for you guys, moving into your house of transformation. So I think a lot of thoughts around healing, a lot of communication around healing, maybe even with family, because we are looking at generationally inherited things in this particular area of life. But ultimately, a lot of ideas and a lot of communication around healing and letting go. Here on the 27th, we have a new moon happening within the sign of Gemini, again, your 8th house. So a new moon represents a blank slate or an opportunity to write a new story for ourselves or to set intentions, right? How we want to approach this energy. And with you guys, it looks like the theme is about letting go and allowing yourself to heal from past, like I said, disappointments or regrets. Let's see. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles here in the first week. The Page of Swords here. Pages are messengers of the tarot, or they are apprentices. So this could be that there's a struggle with communication, maybe communication seems a little erratic. And especially with Mercury moving into Taurus, it could be with Mercury moving into Taurus if you are involved like either a business partnership or a long-term romantic relationship. If you're needing and wanting to create more structure, but you're struggling to voice that to someone, that can be how it manifests itself here. And the Hermit. Don't overthink it. The Hermit in reverse typically can represent that you're moving forward with a new perspective, but I think paired with the Page of Swords in reverse, this is like overanalyzing. You're overanalyzing what it is that you want to say, right? You're overthinking what it is that you want to say. And sometimes we just need to be clear and direct when it comes to how we communicate, okay? 4 of Wands here in the second week, feeling very secure, very happy. The Fool, almost wanted to sing that because that's very exciting. The Fool, so the full moon in Scorpio is providing you an opportunity to release any fears or release any emotions, things from the past that are ultimately holding you back from embarking on a new path here with the Fool card. And then the Devil in reverse. Ultimately releasing yourself of the need to control, releasing yourself of past memories and emotions that, like I said, have been ultimately kind of keeping you bound and chained, keeping you feeling restricted in some way. Just ultimately releasing, letting go of old ways of being that are no longer serving your happiness, that are no longer serving your structure. This full moon in Scorpio, while it can feel intense, it is going to represent a brand new path for you guys, which is incredible. Here in the third week, the Page of Pentacles, the Chariot, beautiful, and the Two of Cups in reverse. Okay. So these two cards go beautifully together, but when paired with the Two of Cups in reverse, not so much. It throws kind of throws a whole wrench in the thing. So I'm just trying to figure out how to translate this message. So the Two of Cups in reverse, the Two of Cups is known as a soulmate card, the soulmate card. But when it's in reverse, it can represent that two people, it can physically be two people are out of alignment. And I just heard repairing a relationship and like building that bridge. So if you're struggling with issues when it comes to family, again, we're looking at 8th house energy. So these are things that we've inherited, generational curses, so to speak, or generational trauma, things with siblings, even because the Two of Cups can represent siblings. When we're looking at things like that, it almost feels like with Gemini season approaching and Gemini having to do with communication, it could be that there is this opportunity to build a bridge, to bridge a gap, to heal some sort of generational wound by you taking action on it and maybe even being that messenger. Hey, I want to maintain this, really, I want this person in my life. I want this thing in my life. I want to take control of this situation and I want to mend it. I want to overcome this feeling of rejection, even because the Two of Cups in reverse can represent rejection, right? You and another person are not in alignment, so it feels like a sense of rejection. But with the Page of Pentacles here and the Chariot, this is like taking action and moving into the direction of healing that. It's taking action or planting the seed that allows you, if anyone, it will be you, to ultimately overcome this sense of rejection, maybe that you have felt, something maybe that has been passed down to you. But ultimately, this is about receiving a message or providing a message that if I really want to move forward and feel like I'm in control of where this goes, where this energy goes, I have to be the one to take the first step, right? Here in the last week, healing of rejection, healing of disappointment, 3 of Cups, leaning onto a support system, leaning onto your friendships, right? And then the 5 of Wands, 2 5s. So it does look like the week of the new moon in Gemini. That's not surprising. New moons or full moons are a little bit more intense. And because this is hitting your 8th house, this is going to feel a little bit more intense for you. So if you're feeling like, oh, woe is me, I can't overcome these obstacles, I'm not confident in my ability to overcome these obstacles, lean on your friendships, lean on your family for support, because they are going to be the ones to help kind of, it doesn't feel like you need them to do this for you. It just feels like maybe in this moment, the week of the new moon, in this moment, you kind of just need that extra, you just need that hug, basically. You just need that hug to kind of get you through these feelings so that you can move on and do what you need to do, right? And here, when we're going back to sun and source, there's a lot of yellow here in this first week or first 3 weeks. This is a lot of yellow, which is beautiful. Yellow is a very It's a very beautiful and healing color. There's even some here with the cups, here with the cups, here on her dress, here in the background with the Page of Swords. There's a lot of yellow that's taking place. Okay, and this feels like a big, maybe even time to do an energetic clearing, you know, like a soul purge, a physical purge. Hold your vision, right? So even if you're struggling to communicate, you're overthinking this communication, like stand strong with what it is that you want to say. It may come out a little nervous. Your voice may shake. Don't overthink it though. Say what you need to say. Be that grounded communicator, right? If you need to communicate with something, maybe even plan ahead a little bit and be like, this is what I want to say here. This is what I want to say to that person. This is what I need to say in this meeting, right? This is what you want to say, and just be comfortable with what it is that you're wanting to say. But hold that vision. Don't budge. And it even could be like, hold that vision if you're communicating and someone is trying to ignore you, or if they're trying to deflect, or if they're trying to just ultimately kind of, I don't want to say brush off what you're saying, but kind of make it be like, yeah, we'll handle it next week. Hold steady and hold fast. You are good enough. The full moon in Scorpio is providing you an opportunity for growth, for healing, and it's allowing you to step forward on this path with the Fool of letting go of any beliefs that you were never good enough. And in doing so, and I noticed like here's this greenery around here. There's this greenery here. It's like a wreath. But in the tarot, greenery like that, growth represents growth, abundance, and something that is ultimately evergreen. You know what I mean? Your feelings of value and your feelings of worth are ultimately going to come from you, and that will always be giving to you. Here in the third week, don't let pride get in your way, right? Don't let pride get in your way from mending any relationships that need to be mended, right? Don't let your pride get in your way, especially when it comes to communication. Try to avoid that trap of being too prideful, right? Maybe that's what the Page of Pentacles is here, delivering that message. Be like, look, there's an opportunity for tangible investment here. There's an opportunity to handle something that you actually can control. And now is the time to do that. But don't see this act of reaching out, don't see this act of investment as a weakness, because it's not. Here in the last week, a win-win outcome is in the forecast, and I noticed the purple, right? And even there's a touch of purple here in this card. Even if you feel like you just can't win, even if you feel like you just cannot come out on top, a win-win outcome is in the forecast. Even if you cannot see it in this moment, it's there. It's very much there. So I truly hope this helped. I almost want to pull a different one. I'm going to pull, because I feel like I'm like, no, there's got to be more to this story, which I mean, there is when we do the reading for the month of June. The Web Weaver, Synchronicity, Divine Intelligence, Cause and Effect, number 4. Again, number 4, right? This is about taking accountability, right? Are you not listening to the synchronicities? Are you not in touch with your source? Are you not in touch with the divine? Do you not feel in touch? Are you missing the signs that you need in order to make the necessary changes? Because you are the web weaver of your destiny. But that web is woven based upon your choices. And you get to choose every day how that gets woven. So I truly hope this helped. I hope you guys have an incredible month, and we will see you next time.